Perfect. Well, good morning. Thanks for showing up this morning, being here to practice. Um, a couple of things have been on my mind in terms of heart space intention for class this week. And the first is the choice to show up and remembering that we always have the choice to show up and how we show up to our practice and to any situation or experience we're moving through. Um, our yoga practice also is this tool that, well, it's a tool that offers many tools, but it offers us a space to cultivate. And I was listening to this podcast this morning, and he was speaking about how, like, a bow and arrow, right? You have to like pull back to create the power to launch the arrow. And like yoga, there's a sense of turning inward to cultivate our power so that we can expand. And I think this idea of sometimes we need to step back, we need to pull back, we need to refocus and realign and concentrate our energy so that then we can really harness that power and expand it outwards. I think that is something that the kind of nature of our society doesn't always honor, or acknowledge, or recognize as powerful, right? I think we are encouraged to be out there all the time, hustling, showing what we're doing, right? Letting it be this kind of like performance or display, right? The ego really, really enjoys that. But there's so much value in the time and the space that we spend within in reflection and contemplation in that deep self-work. And that is what yoga provides as a platform for us to draw back, turn inward, cultivate, harness, and then expand. And so allowing your practice to be like the soil, right, that the seed is growing its roots in. And then from there it sprouts and it shows its beauty to the world. But all that beauty is rooted and begins deep beneath the earth, right, in the space that is not visible above the surface. And so we're just like plants, doing our thing, cultivating down here, and then expanding, and not allowing the importance of that deep work, the root work, to go unnoticed and unacknowledged. Yeah. So for our practice today, we'll tap into twists, we'll get into the hips, we'll open the chest, but allow some of that deep work to be the discernment of what your body needs in the moment. So if at any time your body is craving something different, I really encourage you to like lean into that intuition. Yeah, to trust the teacher within you, that wisdom that exists within your own muscles and bones. Because your body is different than mine, your body is different than anyone else who's here. And so it probably needs something slightly different as we go. Yeah, we're going to start in seated meditation today. You can, of course, start in any shape you want. So if you prefer to begin in Shavasana, if that feels most grounding, or child's pose, start wherever feels true for you. And then just take a moment to find yourself there, into a shape that feels steady and sustainable, and you feel supported. And allow your eyes to close if that feels safe. As you begin to arrive more completely to this moment, allow your awareness to focus on your body and your breath, and the sensations that are moving through you. Finding any slight adjustments to your posture. Maybe if you're in a seat, you draw your shoulders up towards your ears and then slide them back and down to begin that openness across your heart space. Maybe you tilt your head a little bit back, forward, side to side, a little rotation left to right. to find that sense of settling at center, that sweet spot. Then let's start with the cleansing breath together. And as you're ready, just drawing a deep inhale through your nose, allow your lungs to expand. And then open mouth, exhale, release that breath out. And as you seal your lips, continue to expand your breath. So every inhale reaches a little bit wider in every direction. And every exhale becomes a little bit slower and steadier. We use our breath as a tool to draw our focus to this moment, to concentrate our energy in the here and now. And so as you feel your breath drawing you to this moment, notice if the more focused you are on the here and now, the more subtle sensations you notice in your body. As we focus on the subtle sensations of the body and the flow of breath, our awareness becomes more and more concentrated. So we can go a little bit deeper within ourselves to heart and mind. And as you start to notice what's churning through your emotional body and your mind space, lean back and just notice with a sense of curiosity, doing our best to set aside judgment, any thoughts and feelings that arise. Just being curious with the information that's showing up for us. As you continue to deepen your breath, consider what it is you'd like to cultivate within the container of your practice today. Okay, what would you like to turn inward towards and start to bring power around? What would you like to pull back and begin to grow within the depths of yourself? You can then expand outwards after that period of cultivation. Whatever you are desiring to grow within yourself, allowing that to be the root of your practice today, and maybe even the root of your entire day or the rest of your week. Just holding that desired cultivation at your heart. Maybe bring one or both hands to your heart if you're in a seat or on your back body. And we'll seal that intention in just with one more round of cleansing breath. Go ahead and take a deep inhale through your nose. And then open mouth, exhale, release that breath out. And take your time to release your hands, eventually open your eyes. If you're not already in a seat, go ahead and find your way to a cross-legged seat. We're going to begin there. If you are in a cross-legged seat, feel free to switch out the shin that's in front. And then we'll take our hands to the fronts of our knees and with a deep breath in, start to find your cow spine. Pull your heart forward, let your collarbones get really broad across your chest. Feel that squeeze in the space between your shoulder blades to help facilitate the openness at your heart. And then on your exhale, hold on tight to the fronts of your knees, start to round your spine and cat spine, really tuck in through your head and tailbone. Feel your knees push down and forward so that you can hold on and spread your shoulder blades wide. We'll take that twice more. Deep inhale, pull your heart forward, cow spine. Maybe slight look up of your gaze. And then on your exhale, cat spine, hold onto your knees and curl in. Good, one more cycle here. We breathe in, we pull forward. And with the exhale, round back. And then as you drop through center, nice and tall through your torso, go ahead and switch out your shins. The big breath in, circle, sweep your hands up to the sky. And on your exhale, take a twist to the left. Your right hand reach across your body to your left thigh and let your left fingertips go behind you to help you sit up even taller. As you root through your sits bones and through your left fingertips, breathe in to lift up through your heart, lengthen to the crown of your head. In your exhale, start to find a gentle rotation towards the left. Continue to spread your collarbones across your chest and think about offering more breath into the back of your body. And one more deep inhale to lengthen here. On your exhale, keep your right hand holding onto the outside of your left thigh. So to turn your heart forward and then reach your left hand up and overhead into a side body stretch. So let your left knee get really heavy to the earth. So as your right hand holds on, it can become like a seatbelt for your body, a little hammock for the rest of your torso. You can really lean over to the right. Left ribs start to float off of your left hip. Take a big breath to your left side body. Maybe relax your right ear to your right shoulder. And slowly and gently we'll inhale through center, reach both your hands to the sky. And on your exhale, goddess, your arms, elbows open wide. Inhale, extend your fingertips to the ceiling. On your exhale, twist the opposite direction. Left hand reaches across you, right fingertips prop up behind you. Big inhale for length and lift. And exhale for your twist. Maybe experiment with how it feels to find just the slightest tuck of your chin so you can lengthen to the nape of your neck. And then take another breath or two to continue to work the rotation through your spine. You can offer more and more breath into the back of your body, the back of your heart space, the backs of your lungs. And then left hand hold on tight to the outside of your right thigh. Start to turn your torso to face forward again, and then lean into your side bend. Right hand reaches up and overhead. As you grip on tight with your left fingertips, you can hang out into the hammock of your left arm. Relax your head, let your left ear get heavy. Then move your breath along the right side of your body. Creating more space between your right ribs, your right hip, between your right hip and your right armpit. Just waiting for your next inhale as that breath comes through. Slowly, gently rise up, unravel, send both hands to the sky. And on your exhale, goddess arms, elbows go wide again. And from here, gently release into your tabletop pose. We'll find all fours. As you open your fingers across the earth, use an inhale to take your cow shape. So heart and tailbone lift up, but also think about pulling your navel to your spine. And think about drawing your shoulders out of your ears, even here, to lengthen to the front of your throat. On your exhale, cat pose, tuck your tailbone, slowly start to round your spine as articulating every moment along the movement. Push the earth away. Again, shoulders out of ears, head heavy. So you come back to your cow spine, lift through your heart, lift through your tailbone. This time as you exhale, keep your hips high, walk your hands forward for Anahatasana. You're going to bring your forehead or your chest down to the earth. As you melt your heart to your yoga mat, actively press down with your hands. So strong hands, press your palms into the earth, then sink your chest a little bit closer to the ground. Take one breath in and one breath out. You press your palms, walk it back into your tabletop pose, find all fours. And then you're going to keep your right knee where it is. Send your left foot out to the side so the sole of your left foot comes to the earth. An extended leg tabletop. Get really strong through your left quad. And start to send your pelvis forward and backwards. So finding a little shift forwards, backwards to open up through your left hip. And you can stay in movement, or if you find a sweet spot, maybe you pause there for a breath. And if your hips have sunk back towards your right heel, so just slide it forward. You're going to take your left knee behind your right knee, and then split your shins open wide. So we're going into like a little half Gomukhasana. As your shins split wide, creating space between your heels, begin to reach your pelvis back in space. Let your right knee float off the earth. And then you can take your hips a little side to side here. Just take one more breath in your hip opening. If you want this to be a little more active, think about pressing down through your left shin bone, your left knee, to energize your left seat. And then we shift forward, we'll unravel, sending our left toes to the back of our yoga mat. One last shake here before we find second side. Modified side plank, begin to open up to the left side of your yoga mat. As you kickstand through your right foot, send your left fingertips high at the sky. Breathe your left hand overhead to create your side body stretch. Your exhale, just circle one direction with your left arm, one big arm circle. Then inhale, reverse that circle, going the opposite direction. Take your time. Good. With breath out, tabletop pose, return to all fours. Inhale to a cow shape, lift your heart, lift your tailbone. Exhale, cat pose, round your spine. As you return to neutral, send your right foot out wide. Same thing, second side. So get strong through your right foot. Nice and rooted through the sole of your right foot. Feel that energy travel up the length of your right leg, and then maybe find some movement here. Or search for the sweet spot on this side and pause there to breathe. Think about maintaining a little bit of that cow spine energy here. So untuck your tailbone to the sky. Okay. Just take one more cycle of breath. As we shift it forward, you'll take your right knee behind your left. Split your shins open. Send your hips back. You can adjust your hands to wherever they need to be. Maybe a little wiggle of your hips from side to side. Maybe the activation of right shin bone kicking into the ground. Try to melt your shoulders out of your ears and take a breath. And just listening to your body for when it's ready to transition. You'll eventually slide it forward again. As you start to unwind your legs, reach your right toes to the back of your yoga mat. We open up to the right side for our modified side plank. Extend your right hand to the ceiling. Feel your ribs float up towards the sky, and then reach your right hand overhead for the side body stretch. Breathe energy out through your right fingertips. On your exhale, take one circle, just going one direction with your right arm. Feeling all the edges of your range of motion. And go ahead and inhale to rotate that circle in the opposite direction. Your breath out returns you to your tabletop pose, all fours. One last opening before we lift up. I know we're going slow this morning. So in your tabletop pose, take your hands a little bit wider than your yoga mat. Come up to your fingertips so you're in your tabletop gecko pose. Take a breath in, and then on your exhale, slide your elbows out wide as you dive your chest to the earth. So you're creating like a 90-degree bend through your elbows to your wrists to your shoulders. Think shoulders out of ears, elbows over wrists, actively push through your finger pads. And think about stretching your elbows wide to the walls of the room. So left elbows going super wide to the left, right elbows reaching to the right. On your in-breath, bring your heart up through center. And then on your exhale, we'll take a twist. Dip your left shoulder in, twist your gaze over towards the right. On your inhale, lift and lengthen through center. And exhale, second side, right shoulder dips in, twist to the left. And follow your inhalation back to the midline. We'll exhale through tabletop pose into downward facing dog. Start to tuck your toes and lift your hips. And give yourself the space of a breath or two here just to feel into your downward facing dog. And then start to walk it forward into your forward fold, Uttanasana. Offer some softness to your knees. You fold across your thighs. Relax the weight of your skull. Take a breath as you maybe move a little side to side, forward and back, just feeling into the lengths of your legs. From here, a little softness in your knees. Begin to breathe into your halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. On your exhale, forward fold release. We'll rise all the way to standard Bahastasana, big circle seat to the sky as you inhale. On your exhale, softness through your knees, goddess to your arms, open up through your chest. Let your hands go wide and swan dive forward, heart leads the way as you hinge at your hips back to your forward fold. Then inhale, lengthen up halfway. This time with your exhale, step your left foot to the back of your yoga mat. And then allow your left knee to come to a hover for your cow lunge. To the length along the front of your left hip, pull your heart forward. Think about sliding your left thigh bone back. And then send one more breath into your pelvis. We're going to gradually start to lengthen out our legs into our hamstring stretch, cat lunge. Encourage your right sitting bone up to the sky and then back in space. Think about hugging your left hip forward. And then breathe a little bit of extension through your spine. So think heart and tailbone lengthen away from one another. Okay, from here, rebend into your right knee. Keep your left thigh bone lifted and strong. To get inhale to twist your right hand to the sky. Good. On your exhale, bring your right hand to the inside of your right foot. Start to crawl around to the left and bend your left knee. Side lunge or skandasana. So you can stay in this more lifted lateral lunge, or you just sink into your skandasana and flex your right toes to the sky. Maybe going along with our archer and tension that bow and arrow energy. You reach your right fingertips forward and pull your left elbow back, creating a stretch across your heart space, your chest. And from here, pivot to the back of your yoga mat. All 10 toes rotate, so you're framing your left foot. Press into your palms. Use your core to lift your left leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Big breath in. Bend your knee and open your hip on your exhale. Option to draw a hip circle in one direction as you breathe in. And then one big hip circle in the opposite direction with your breath out. And from here, three-legged dog, re-extend your left leg. On your exhale, left knee to your right, tricep cross underneath your body. Right, three-legged dog, inhale your left leg to the sky. And on your exhale, high plank, slide forward as you lower your left toes to the earth. We'll breathe into our tippy toes. Breath out brings us all the way to our bellies, all the way to the ground, slow and controlled. Untuck your toes, low cobra, while your inhale to float your heart off the earth. And then exhale to release. And inhale to maybe a high cobra, option to return to your low cobra if that feels best. And then exhale to release. Final breath here is upward facing dog or any cobra variation. Then downward facing dog, hips to the sky. And from your down dog, an inhale lifts your heels up. Exhale, bend your knees, step or hop to the top of your yoga mat, forward fold. As you inhale to your halfway lift, draw your shoulders way out of your ears. And then exhale, forward fold, release. This time, chair pose with Katasana, sit into your seat. Follow your breath to reach up to your heart and hands. And as you breathe out, refine your posture, come back to inhale and exhale, let your breath be right there with you. Okay, think open chest with your inhale. Goddess your arms as you exhale. Let your hands reach behind you to interlace for a bind. Let's go right thumb on top of left to start. And keep your elbows bent. Think about stretching your collarbones across your chest as you bring your elbows towards one another. Keep your front ribs hugged in so your low back supported. Option to lengthen your arms from there. Just take one big breath in. Keep or release your bind as you forward fold with exhale out. Relax the weight of your skull, lift the heads of your shoulders up out of your ears, and then reach your hands overhead. Take an inhale in. You exhale out, release your hands towards the earth. Breathe into your halfway lift. With exhalation, step your right toes to the back of your yoga mat, and find your cow lunge. Right knee is going to come to a hover. Take a full cycle of breath here, creating space to the front of your right hip, lengthen your spine. And slowly start to find your hamstring stretch as you find extension through both your legs. Think about creating that buoyancy at your left booty cheek. So left booty cheek is high as your right hip hugs forward. Think tailbone tall, heart to toes. Give this one more moment. Keeping your right thigh active, strong, and lifted. Just bend into your left knee. We'll take an inhale, left hand sweeps up to the sky. On your exhale, you turn to the right. You're going to crawl into your side lunge or skandasana, bending into your right knee. So either variation, maybe your archer arms, right elbow bends, pulling back your bow and arrow, left hand reaches towards your extended left leg. And we pivot around to face the front of our yoga mat, low lunge facing forward. Plant through your palms, three-legged dog. Use your core to reach your right leg up high. And bend your knee, open your hip, finding your half dog, your scorpion dog. An option here is you pause for a breath and we find a hip circle in each direction. And when you're ready, three-legged dog, re-extend your right leg. Take a deep inhale, and on your exhale, twist your right knee underneath your body towards your left tricep. Three-legged dog, pull back up. High plank pose, slide forward, release your right toes to the earth. On your inhale, shift it forward. Exhale, chaturanga, lower halfway or all the way. Breathe into your up dog or your cobra. And breath out returns us to downward facing dog, hips to the sky. Now we'll take an inhale together. And then open mouth, exhale to release. And a big breath in, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, step or hop to the top of your yoga mat, forward fold. Find your halfway lift on your in-breath. And then Utkatasana, chair pose on your out-breath. Feel a moment here of just refinement of concentration within this shape. Trying to tune back into the breath and into the subtleties of the body. We'll breathe in. Exhale, goddess arms, elbows go wide. Reach your hands back behind you for the chest expansion bind if you took it before. This time, left thumb goes on top. Open through your heart. Draw your navel to your spine to support yourself. And then you're going to start to lean your energy over to your right foot. We're going to flamingo our left heel to our seat. So just like a little hamstring curl, left heel to booty. And then we're going to slowly step our left toe to the back of our yoga mat, coming into high crescent legs. As I release your arms, big circle sweep to the sky on your inhale. And with your exhale, you're going to take a open arm twist to the right, sweep your right hand down and back, reach your left fingertips forward. Getting space at the front of your left hip. That big rotation through your torso. And from here, similar to what you did in our cross-legged seat, take your left hand to the outside of your right hip or thigh, whatever you can reach, maybe that's your right ribs, but somewhere along the right side of your body. You're going to turn your heart forward and then reach your right hand over to the left side of the room for a side body stretch. So left hand's holding the outside of your right thigh or right ribs. Your right hand's reaching up and overhead to the left side of the room. And from here, inhale to unravel high crescent lunge, reach both hands high. On your exhale, airplane lunge, tip your heart forward, sweep your hands back. We'll open up into Warrior Two, Virabhadrasana 2, spiral your left heel to the earth and unravel your arms. And inhale to reverse your triangle, lengthen up and out of your right thigh for a moment. And then exhale, side angle, bend into your right knee and send your left fingertips to the sky. And we'll take that twice more. Inhale, reverse your triangle, create space along the entire length of your right side. Then exhale, side angle, sink back into your depth. Beautiful. Final cycle here. We inhale, reverse your triangle. And exhale, side angle. With your next inhale, extend your side angle, let your left fingertips sweep overhead. And then your left hand's going to lead the way as we circle sweep into a side lunge. Bend into your left knee, side lunge or skandasana. Maybe find your archer arms, that bow and arrow as you inhale. Low lunge to the back of your yoga mat with your exhalation. Press your palms from your strong core, three-legged dog. Lift your left leg to the ceiling. And then bend your left knee and open your hip. Option to stay here, option for a wild thing. Perhaps you step your left toes lightly to the earth behind you and open your chest to the sky. Feel your shoulder blades facilitate the openness of your front body. Big breath in. We return to three-legged dog, land to your left hand. Inhale your left leg to the ceiling. With your breath out, twist left knee towards your right tricep. Fall in triangle, thread your left leg through. Spiral your right heel to the earth. Big expansion through your heart as your right hand finds the sky. On your breath out, return your right hand to the ground. Three-legged dog. One more time. Use your core to extend your left leg to the ceiling. And then high plank pose, slide it forward. Inhale, shifting to your tippy toes. Chaturanga or downward facing dog with your exhale. And take a big breath in. Open mouth, exhale out. Inhale to find the lift through your heels. Exhale to bend your knees and travel forward your way, step or float to your forward fold. Breath in lifts us halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Utkatasana, chair pose, find your seat. Take an inhale for length. Exhale, front ribs pull in, goddess your arms. Hands will sweep back behind you, chest expansion bind. Okay. Only if you want to, you can always have airplane arms or your goddess arms instead. Lean your energy to your left foot. Start to maybe come to right tippy toes and then flamingo your right heel to your seat, that little hamstring curl. As slow, as controlled as you can, step your right toes to the back of your yoga mat, finding your high crescent legs. You can always adjust them once you get there. Release your hands to the sky, big breath in. Open arm twist to the left, turn your torso to the left as you sweep your left hand back in space. And take a moment here where you shrug your shoulders back and open. Your right hand's gonna go anywhere along the outside of your left side. So that could be your left ribs, your left hip, your left thigh bone. Keeping your right hand across your body, start to turn your heart forward. And then send your left hand overhead for your side body stretch. As your left fingertips reach up and over to the right side of your body. Think about pressing your right fingertips into your left side into your right fingertips. Here we go, high crescent lunge, inhale to unravel. Exhale, airplane lunge, hinge forward. To warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2, open it up. With your in-breath, reverse your triangle, lift and lengthen. Exhale, sink into your side angle pose. Light through your left form as your right fingers find the sky. And then flowing with your breath twice more. Inhale, draw it back. And exhale, side angle. And one more time, we inhale, lift up and out, reverse your triangle. Exhale, side angle and pause. Extend your side angle, right hand reaches overhead. Feel that line of energy from right fingertips to right heel. And then right hand leads the way into your Cylinder Skandasana with a bent right knee. Option for your arch your arms, pull back through your bow and arrow with an inhale. Re-rotate to the front of our yoga mat, low lunge upon exhale. Pressing through your palms, use your strong core, three-legged dog, reach your right toes to the ceiling. And then bend your knee, open your hips, stay or wild thing. Option for your heart opening. And your back bend, take an inhale. We all gather in our three-legged dog. So exhale leads that transition, right palm to the earth. Breathe your right leg to the sky. Right knee, left tricep cross underneath yourself, breath out. Fallen triangle, thread your right leg through and peel open. Take a full body breath in. Exhale back towards your three-legged dog, land your left hand. Inhale to reach your right toes. Exhale, high plank pose, slide forward. This time as you breathe in and shift to your tippy toes. Breath out brings you all the way to your belly, all the way to the earth. And tuck your toes. One time, a low or high cobra, take an inhale. And release to your belly as you exhale. We're gonna take gecko pose on our bellies this time, so hands wider than your yoga mat. Tent your fingertips on the earth. Slide your elbows so they're stacked over your wrists, shoulders out of ears. With an inhale, lift your chest up any amount. Option to push through your fingertips to lift a little higher if that feels safe in your body. On your exhalation, twist your right shoulder to the center, look left. Shoulders stay out of ears. We'll inhale, lift and lengthen through the midline. And exhale, second side. Left shoulder dips in, twist to the right. On your in-breath, bring it back to center. And exhale, lower all the way down. Preparing for your upward facing dog, return your palms by your ribs. And then inhale, up dog, lift and lengthen. And exhale, downward facing dog, hips find the sky. Collective in-breath through the nose. And then open mouth, exhale, let it go. And from here, inhale, lift your heels. On your exhale, bend your knees, step or hop to the top of your yoga mat. As you find your forward fold, take your feet a little bit wider, maybe out hips distance or even wider than that. Soften your knees and dive down. Option for pinkies to go to opposite elbow creases for ragdoll. Take a breath to hang out here. Then keeping a little softness in your knees, your right hand's going to reach to the outside of your left ankle. Try to relax your head. As you bend your elbow, twist your left hand to the sky. Again, you can have anyone bend through your knees here. Take a big breath in. And exhale, release. Switching sides, left hand reaches for the outside of your right ankle or anywhere along the outside of your right leg. Deep bend your left elbow, twist your right hand to the sky. Try to relax your neck. Take a big breath in. And then exhale to release. Then inhale to a halfway lift. Then your exhale, you're gonna walk your feet even wider, Malasana squat. We'll continue to open through our hips and find a little bit of twisting action here. Okay, so in your Malasana squat, make it really proud through your chest, tall through your torso. Okay, your elbows might really gently encourage your knees open, and then we're gonna take our left hand towards the earth. So left arm on the inside of your left leg, reach your left fingertips to the ground. Twist your right hand to the sky. Take a big breath in as you open up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Second side, right fingertips reach down to the earth on the inside of your right leg. Breathe your left hand to the sky. We squeeze your shoulder blades together to open through your front body. And exhale, hands to heart. And from here, you're gonna keep your feet wide, turning your toes forward, lift your hips high. So you're in this kind of like wide, slightly wide forward fold. Gonna rotate to face you. Soften your knees, roll up your spine all the way to stand. So head will be last to lift, the back of your heart leads the way. At the top, shrug your shoulders, up, back, and open. So we're gonna do a little bit of standing balance work here. That will be working into our twists, our side body strength. So I like to always have like a little micro bend through my knees in this. I think it helps with stability, so my stabilizers can light up and do their thing. We're gonna take our hands to prayer. Take a big breath in, start to sink towards any depth of a squat. So you can go down like 1 inch, you can go down many inches, it's up to you. On your exhale, this first one will go slow. You're gonna slowly start to rise out of your squat. Lean your energy to your left foot. Use your core to lift your right knee up and twist. Left elbow towards right knee. It does not need to touch. And on your inhale, you're gonna step out that slightly wide stance, sink towards any depth of your squat. And on your exhale, second side, as you rise up, lean your energy to your right foot, light up your core so you can lift your left knee and twist. Right elbow towards left knee. Good, inhale, step wide to your squat. Going back to the first side, we're gonna pause at the top. On your exhale, drive your left foot. Bring your right knee up with you and twist left elbow towards your right thigh. Pausing here, you can let elbow and face start to release away from one another, keeping your twist. Maybe spread your wings open. If you want to, you can extend your right leg long to light up through your right quad. Good. From wherever you are, keep your right leg lifted. Just slowly start to unravel forward, hands to heart. Figure for your right ankle on your left thigh and sit into your one-legged chair. Good, active through your right ankle. Find that lift through your right booty cheek. Openness to the chest. You're connecting to Ujjayi breath in. Take a slow, steady inhale through your nose. And slow, steady exhale through your nose. And then going super slow, moving with control, you're gonna slow motion, bring it back up to your one-legged mountain. And a big breath in at the top to the power of your left leg, your left glute. Your exhale, stepping slightly wide into your squat. Breathe in, sinking low. Second side, with your breath out, lean your power to your right foot as you rise up, bring your left knee with you and find your twist, right elbow towards your left thigh. So you're lifting your left thigh bone up to your chest for this first moment. Now keep the twist. Just lower your left knee to about hip height. And then start to spread your wings wide so you're in your nice twisted standing balance. You have the invitation to lengthen your left leg forward. But you're just finding your own personal edge. Take a breath. Keep your left knee bent, begin to unravel through center, hands, spine, heart. Figure for your left ankle onto your right thigh. Send your pelvis back and down into your one-legged chair, Ekapada Utkatasana. Flex your left toes. And then as we take this moment to pause and turn inward, we turn back to breath, to the subtleties in sensation, and back to what it is that we are cultivating. So what is the deeper purpose, the deeper roots of our practice today? From the energy of that inward space, you're going to take your time, going super slow, one-legged mountain roots through your right foot, bring your left knee with you, take a breath in. Exhale, step out to that slightly wide stance. And then soft knees hinge forward to a forward fold. Good. In this space, just take a big breath through your nose. Be open mouth, exhale, let it go. And find a halfway lift. Breathe into your body, finding length through your spine. With exhale, bend your knees and have a seat all the way down to the earth. Okay. We're going to take a little hip opening moment seated before we lower all the way to the back body. You have options. You always have options, but especially now. You could either take your your regular Baddha Konasana, so your seated Baddha Konasana, soles of your feet together, knees wide. Yeah. You could take your wide-legged forward fold. You could take something else. Okay. So we're going to take a seated hip opening. If there's a different seated shape you prefer, feel free to go there. Yeah. Whatever shape you're in, take a moment to maybe untuck the flesh out from beneath your sits bones. Going for that pelvic tilt, so your pubic bone is tipping forward, your tailbone is tilting back and up to the sky. With an inhale, find lift and length through your chest. Your hands can hold onto your ankles, your shins if you're in your Baddha Konasana. Your hands can reach to the sky. And then when you're ready, you're going to find your way forward any amount. Okay. And then in your hands, just letting them find their way to something steady. So whether that's holding onto your body or on the earth. Try to melt your shoulders out of your ears. Relax the weight of your head. And take 3 slow cycles of breath. If you'd like to stay here a little bit longer, feel free to stay as long as you'd like. You're ready to gently transition out. Slowly lift up tall to your torso. Draw your knees into 90-degree bend-ish, 90-ish degree bend. And then if you want to take a couple of windshield wipers, you can add that in first. From there, we'll take a slow progression into our reverse tabletop. So hands are going to step beneath your shoulders. Fingertips face your seat. First, just starting with the heart opening. Draw your shoulder blades towards each other, and then use your shoulder blades to push your heart forward and up. Keep pressing your heart forward and up with your shoulder blades, but then think about bending your elbows back in the opposite direction. So you're pressing your heart forward and your elbows back at the same time to create a big stretch to the fronts of your shoulders. If it feels good, you can look up to the sky, finding the lift through your gaze. Option to stay here, option to go to full reverse tabletop. For your reverse tabletop, lengthen your arms, press through your feet, and lift through your pelvis. Take a breath in whatever shape you're in. And if your hips are lifted, slowly and gently start to return your pelvis to the earth. The top of your yoga mat, you're gonna anchor your heels into your mat, so flex your heels into the ground. Think about an energy through your core, driving your heels through the floorboards. But also think about a slight isometric hug of your heels towards your seat. Now, so your heels are pushing down and dragging back towards your pelvis. From the strength of your core, inhale to reach up high. On your exhale, keep that strong core and heel connection as you slowly start to lower down. Try not to let your heels lift, shoulders out of ears. When you need to, reach your hands forward for counterbalance, but try not to let your heels float off your yoga mat. Use your belly strength to drive them down, down, down. When you arrive to the earth, maybe take a full body stretch as you inhale. And then bring your knees to your chest as you exhale. Draw some circles with your knees in each direction. And eventually find yourself in your favorite version of happy baby pose. So hands can just go to the front, see your knees open wide. Or you can reach up to your ankles at your feet. Your hamstrings is also an option. Maybe you find length through one leg at a time or both your legs within your happy baby. And you can decide to be in stillness or to explore a little bit of movement, perhaps rocking from side to side. A nice big breath in. On your exhale, figure for your right ankle on your left thigh. Your left foot can land to the earth, or you can bring that whole figure forward to you, maybe reaching your hands to grip onto the back of your left leg, so your left hamstring. And then if you have your hands on your left hamstring, drawing that leg unit towards you, think about as your left thigh comes to your body, can you open your right knee away from your chest? Think right shin bone presses slightly forward. Take a big breath in. On your exhale, keep that figure four shape in your leg. You're gonna drop it over to the left into a figure four twist. The sole of your right foot's coming to the earth. And then think about keeping your right knee pointing to the sky and pressing away from your torso. If it's available, your left hand can reach down to grab the outside of your right ankle. And then I personally like to find the action of squaring my hips to the sky within this. So I flex my right ankle. I think about squaring my hip bones up to the ceiling energetically, as if I was going to root my right hip back to the earth. And then for a more active stretch, as I press my right thigh bone energetically away from my body, I think about my outer right ankle pushing forward into my left thigh. A slight drag of my right heel against my left thigh towards the right side of the room. Creating that big stretch through your right side body and down into the right side of your hip. Take one more breath in. Softening into your shape, let that entire exhale empty out. Patient with your exhale. We'll unravel through center, unwind your legs, knees to chest, and then figure for your left ankle on your right thigh. And take a moment to check in the second side, see what second side means. And then once you find that sweet spot, return all of your attention, all of your focus back to the ebb and flow of your breath. Feeling each wave of inhale and each wave of exhale. After another breath or two, you'll take your figure four into your figure four twist. That same shape is going to tip all the way over to the right. Maybe your right hand grabs your left ankle. Maybe you find that squaring action as if you could square your pelvis back up to the ceiling. And move 2 cycles of breath along your left side body. When you're ready, and only when you're ready, there's no rush, you're going to start to unravel back to center, knees come to chest. Maybe curl your nose up to your knees, take a big, big breath in. And on your exhale, you release into Shavasana. Send everything out long and wide. Allow your body to take up space. Maybe let your legs go really wide as your arms open up beside you. Adjust your shoulders as needed so your chest feels open. And the entire back of your body feels supported. And as you close your eyes and settle in, if it would feel good to take a cleansing breath. Draw a deep inhale through your nose. Then open mouth, exhale, let it go. As you reconnect to the movement of your breath. Just feel each breath in and each breath out. If you have a little bit of extra space in your morning, maybe you stay exactly as you are and continue to rest. If you're ready to bring a little bit of movement back into your body, start to reawaken your fingers, toes, ankles, and wrists. Be an in-breath extends your hands overhead to a full body stretch. And on exhale, we'll bring hands to heart center to close our practice. In this final moment, we take a pause to pause in deep gratitude. I'm grateful for the yoga practice itself, the pathway that it lays out for us, and the many tools that it provides. Grateful for our bodies, the physical vessel that travels us through this human experience. Grateful for our breath, the life force energy, the prana that sustains us through each moment. I'm grateful for this time that we shared, the energy that we exchanged through moving and breathing together. So in gratitude, we'll take a deep inhale through the nose one more time. Then open mouth exhale, just let that breath go. May yoga offer us a path to compassion. And may our practices serve as our teachers, guiding us to live with authenticity, to love deeply each day. Thank you so much, and namaste.